Radio WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
Come on, that gets you fired up, doesn't it? Thinking a little football, right? Right? Today's August 11th, 2026. It's National Son and Daughter Day, National Presidential Joke Day. All right, we'll stay away from that one. National Hip Hop Day. Today is the day that they say hip hop was born. It's National Panini Day. Dave, do you have a panini maker?
I do not, but I do love paninis.
Do you?
Yeah, I think they're good.
What is a panini?
Basically a mashed sandwich.
So if I took my old George Foreman grill, I could make a panini out of it?
Something close to it, yeah.
I'd have to go to Panera Bread to get one of those.
Or Wawa.
Panera works too.
Oh, Wawa will make them too. Okay. All right. Well, happy National Panini Day to everybody.
I still use my Foreman.
You still have one?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They still make them.
Okay.
Wow.
In fact, I used it yesterday to make a turkey burger.
Really?
It's shocking.
Yes.
Everything old is new again, Rich.
Do you have a DVD player in your house?
A cassette player?
I don't have a cassette player.
tape?
I can play DVDs on my Xbox.
Do you still have Pong?
No, I don't.
Oh, now he's going in the Wayback Machine.
I remember I used to work with Booger McFarland, and Booger was talking about he had a fax machine at his house. I'm like, a fax machine? How old are you?
Sorry, was it the kind that used the roll of the slimy fax paper?
I don't know, but we went on for like an hour on fax machines. I'm like, listen, Grandpa, there's things called the internet and email. And he swore by his fax machine. I'm like, I don't even know how he'd get a fax anymore.
Or just a printer.
Yeah, exactly. Gary, you might find this interesting. You know, Skip Bayless, the sports commentator?
I do.
He used to have a fax newsletter. Like, so think of everybody you subscribe to an email blast or an email newsletter.
He wasn't the only one that did that.
No, but I remember he had that, the Cowboys Report or something like that. And he had gotten fired from the newspaper, and he did this subscription, and he would fax you his articles every day.
It was a blog before the word blog was invented.
Well, okay, so I'll show you something about that as well. So he had this email this fax that he would send out, and he would go on radio shows. So we were his affiliate in Los Angeles. So he would come on with Bob Golick and I to plug his fax newsletter. This is just making me sound old. I just sound old right now. All right, so blogging, where you sit there and write out all your thoughts and share them with the world. I was watching something on YouTube yesterday. You know where that kind of came from? That idea came from?
Where?
Dave, do you want to guess?
I have no idea.
Doogie Howser.
Really?
When he wrote like the little notes on the computer, on his desktop computer at the end of the show. Huge desk. Yes, at the end of the show. Exactly.
And he would write his diary out. And that's where the concept of blogging,
the birth of the blog.
Yeah, because the show got canceled. I don't know why I was watching this yesterday on YouTube, but the show got canceled. I did read for half hour.
Rabbit hole much?
YouTube. Exactly. I'm on this channel that talks about TV shows from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But the show was supposed to end with Doogie leaving medicine, becoming a writer, and they were going to take all of his journaling that he did online and use it for his first book, and then he's going to become a big writer.
Has nobody learned anything from Dr. Fauci? Why are you writing all this stuff down?
In your personal diary,
especially on a company computer.
So can we blame Doogie Howser for Dr. Fauci?
Well, you just never write it down. I know people that would that would never use company email for very little. They'd come up and talk to you instead of writing it down, just because they didn't want company stuff going. Knowing what their email.
Lynn and I were watching a show last night, and somebody said, "Why would you write that down? You don't want a paper trail."
Yeah, guilty conscience much?
There's people watching you.
You constantly. All right. Anyway, I wanted to bring this up. WNBA. The story's kind of bubbled up after we got off the air yesterday. So I did the whole thing yesterday. If you want to go back and listen to the show, here's what I told you. Sophie Cunningham is not a warrior for conservative politics. She's simply a basketball player. But unfortunately, everybody needs everybody to take a stance. She simply said in an article that was printed at ESPN, the magazine, that we should stand up for little girls, protect them in sports. That was it. It was just a comment amongst an entire article written about Sophie Cunningham. But all of a sudden, those on the left, the tolerant left, say, how dare you say this? And she gets dragged into this controversy. And then as the WNBA players don't like that she has that point of view, her and her teammate Caitlin Clark, who's the golden goose of the WNBA, have been coming under more and more scrutiny, and now physically being what's the right word I want to use for? I want to make sure I choose my words carefully here. Physically, the play against them has ratcheted up tenfold to the point of the fouls that they're getting called against them are ridiculous. Like Caitlin Clark went up for a layup the other day, kind of was shuffling her feet. The referee standing there on the baseline, she bumped into her a little bit. Technical foul. Like, what? Sophie Cunningham the other day going for a layup, player comes in, just hammers her over the top with what should have been an automatic ejection. The player who had been they had to actually review it, which made me just laugh. I mean, that was so blatant. You just immediately tee her up and kick her out of the game. They had to go do the review. She left. The WNBA has a rule that if you get kicked out of the game, you immediately have to leave the floor and the arena. And the other rule is no one is allowed to tweet or use electronic devices during the game. They don't want players tweeting at halftime or doing things like that. This player did. No discipline. So the WNBA shows their hypocrisy, or I'm not even sure hypocrisy is the right word. They're showing that this league is not being very well run. And now they're really going to be up against it because Enes Kanter changed his name to Freedom, former NBA player who is very, very outspoken, very, very outspoken about the NBA and a lot of social issues. I respect him a lot. He wrote something about Nikes on his shoes, and it was pretty much going to push him out of the league because he'd been so outspoken from the right, and the NBA didn't like it. He's declared that he would like to be drafted in the WNBA because they have such woke language when it comes to transgender players. So now he's going to put the WNBA, like I said, nobody watches the NBA. It's not a top 10 sport. It's got a niche audience that they've decided they want to make everybody watch the WNBA. It's summer programming for ESPN, to be honest with you. It's not a huge ratings bonanza, but it fills programming until football comes around. Well, now that you've made it mainstream and you brought all this upon yourself, and you see some of the stances you take in your little utopian world of the WNBA, which has never made $1 in its life, which is completely subsidized by the Men's National Basketball Association game to give you the WNBA. And by the way, the players want more money. Players want more money, even though the league loses money every year. Now, because of what we see going on and the severe backlash against Cunningham for making just an innocent statement while having a conversation with an ESPN reporter, Enes Kanter and another player said, you know what, we consider ourselves to be women right now. We consider ourselves to be transgender. They went through the letter of the law of the WNBA. They followed the letter of the law of the WNBA, and now they made themselves available for the WNBA draft. We'll see whether they draft them or not. But the thing is, with the WNBA in these woke organizations, eventually you're going to push, and you're going to push, and you're going to push, and you're going to get pushed back upon. You kept pushing the WNBA and everything that it stood for, and now that you put it out into the mainstream is not going to go along with what your agenda is. The mainstream is going to question you. The mainstream is going to ask questions, and it's going to push back when it sees things that they don't agree with. And now you have to decide, will you be truly inclusive and draft players that followed your rules and want to go and play in your league? And they're by the letter of the law, looks like they're eligible to play in the WNBA. Will you be inclusive and include them? Or when your utopian world bumps into the real world, what happens next? I just wanted to bring that up, follow up on that story that we talked about yesterday on the program. All right, what do you think? WNBA, you want complete inclusivity? Does that mean you want inclusivity from people that might not share your utopian version of the world, and you're just getting exposed by your own? I don't. It's not malfeasance, but your own hypocrisy. You're being exposed to the rest of the world. If you guys want to comment on that, feel free. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. But I did want to bring that up. The WNBA is in trouble because, number one, they're going to start losing fans. When you see Caitlin Clark getting pushed around and hammered every night, and then you start calling ticky-tack fouls on her, her coach doesn't come to her defense. You see Sophie Cunningham basically being clotheslined, and her coach doesn't come to her defense. If you're just there for watching the sport, you're going to start wondering, what am I really watching here? Is this really a sport, or is this some utopian view of the world? Well, if you want to comment, please, 833-804-1140. Something to keep an eye on. The primaries are going on today, and everybody has their eyes on Wisconsin, where a former chef is running for the Democratic nomination. I have a big question when it comes to Democrats. I just want to ask you this question. Do you have any normal people that you run for office? I'll talk about that coming up next. This is the one who wanted to cancel Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day and a bunch of others. I got another one that you just nominated who thinks football is bigoted. We'll get into all of that coming up on the program. 833-804-1140. Today's program. Oh, by the way, if you want to text us, 833-804-1140. And if you want to reach me, it's Rich for America, richforamerica.com, the number 4. You can email me there as well. All right. Now, today's program is brought to you by Pearson Signature.